I know that. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Please go through this video. Yeah.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Thank you. It's a 5 minutes one, maybe very short. Putala, did you go through that video I have sent to you?
Yes, sir.
Okay, very good. I believe all go through that. It's the same one, eh? Not a new one. Okay. Today, the 13th March 2021, EMCP 2018 semester 6B2 manufacturing food process and IM. Okay. So today I'm conducting the lecture from a different location. Actually, it's a corridor of a restaurant today. I'm in Colombo. So I just managed to find this place. Eh? So these are the things we are planning to go through. 3M, I just put as 3M, PPP, about leadership. I'm going to refer this Wikipedia. So our lesson is impact of manufacturing industry on the environment. VOCs, greenhouse gases and greenhouse effect. And 12 principles of green engineering. Okay, so I thought of starting it from the greenhouse effect. Okay, that's why I just sent you one video. It's from a NASA video. Okay, it's from a NASA video. So greenhouses are the ones people are used to cultivate, mainly in the European side, even during winter. These greenhouses can be kept warm. Even outside can be snowing or winter. The inside can be kept warm, and this keeping warm helps to grow plants like tomato. Tomato is a tropical fruit. Yeah, we could say fruit, even you can say it's a vegetable, and also the tropical flowers. Tropical means those are the warmer climates. Okay, yeah. Warmer means, yeah, we would say it is around the equator lines. You can see a lot of tomatoes are grown. That's why Israel, Egypt, and the Middle East countries, they are very good in growing very high quality tomato. So even in Sri Lanka, we can see tomato. We call it takal. Yeah, in Norelia side, we grow tomatoes. But in Europe side, to grow tomato, they have to have a warmer environment. So to have this, they are using this effect, what we call greenhouse effect. So when this is made of glass, daytime the sunshine passes through here. Okay, so makes the plants here warm, and even this solar energy trapped inside, and even at night this remains within, and this maintains a certain level of good temperatures for tomato and tropical flowers like. That's how the Europe, so they made of glass. But even in Sri Lanka, we use greenhouses, but those greenhouses instead of glasses, glass greenhouses you can see in the botanical gardens and all. Okay. So in our country, greenhouses may be for different purposes to have some more warm, more tropical flowers to grow, maybe. Yeah. Or else this is only not only for the protection from the insects and all, but in Sri Lanka, generally greenhouses, it is not mainly for the warming of the temperature, but just to maintain some protection. Okay, keep away the veggies and flowers from the insects and all. But the true purpose of greenhouse is this. Yeah. So the greenhouse captures heat from the sun during the day. Its glass walls trap the sunset, which keeps plants inside the greenhouse warm even on cold nights. Okay, this is from NASA website. Okay, Bhutala. So I think this is a very general common sense. So you may have this. So even our planet Earth also looks like a greenhouse. Later we will see this. So this is the principle. A greenhouse, notice the principle, the effect. The greenhouse stays warm inside even during the winter. In the daytime, sunlight shines into the greenhouse and warms the plants and air inside. At night time, it's cold outside, but the greenhouse stays pretty warm inside. That's because the glass walls of the greenhouse traps the sun's heat. You can see similar greenhouse effects. Example, if someone parks a car, okay, under the sun, all the windows, glasses, shutters are closed. So you can see the sunlight passes through the glasses and go inside the cars. And the way it goes in, same way it won't come back. So this heat remains inside. Even during the daytime, the heat starts building up. Okay, so even in Sri Lanka, like some countries, heat start building up. And even this temperatures can exceed beyond the human's tolerance levels. Okay, means the car temperature goes pretty high. Even there were cases that accidentally some kids left inside, doors closed, the no the AC is off, and they keep on warming the car inside during the daytime, and some children had some okay, fatalities because of this greenhouse effect even in the cars. So you should be aware about this greenhouse effect very well. So you can make it for advantage, and also you can avoid the risk of this greenhouse effect phenomena. That's why. So even for this heating purposes, let's say to maintain the warmness in the cold climates like our up countries, mountains. So you can sort of use greenhouse effect instead of fire or instead of heaters. So those are green building concepts people are using now. Okay, and when you need to learn the greenhouse effect, you have to really look into this greenhouse physical applications, what the humans are using. That's why I am explaining this, Putal. Okay, yeah. So this is the greenhouse effect works much the same way on Earth. Okay, so here instead of glass, here the gases in the atmosphere. Mainly the carbon dioxide is our reference, such as carbon dioxide, even water molecules, even methane. So you can see here CO2, H2O, methane, like gases, okay, in the atmosphere, okay, makes this heat trapped, okay. This heat trapping gases are called greenhouse because of this heat trapping. So instead of this nighttime or even the nighttime when this heat released from the earth back to the atmosphere, so what happens is when this energy rays, heat rays, of course these are low frequency infrared, mostly the energy rays heating the molecules. What happens is after molecule absorb this, part of energy comes back down to earth. part goes to the outer atmosphere. That's how it is. So by right, this should go out. Instead, some bounce back. So it is something like greenhouse effect. Okay, same here. During the day, the sun shines through the atmosphere. Sun shines through the atmosphere. Earth's surface warms up. Okay, in the sunlight because of the sunlight. At night, Earth's surface cools, getting cooled by releasing heat back into the air. But the issue is, but some of the heat is trapped by the greenhouse gases. So, and then that's what keeps our Earth warm. Okay, warm an average 14 degrees Celsius on average. Okay, if no greenhouse effect, this will be freezing. So greenhouse effect is a positive thing. Okay, greenhouse effect is a positive thing and it is essential to maintain the temperatures comfortable for plants, animals, humans and all. So average in the sense North Pole, South Poles may be colder climates. They are on the mountains. They are cold, but the warmer climates are there. When it comes to the average, it's around 14 degrees Celsius. Okay, so this is we would say this is cozy, means a comfortable temperatures, warm and comfortable. Yeah, so that's how it is. But the issue is, as you go through this video, okay, as you go through this video, the issue is now not about the greenhouse effect, but because of humans' activities, increase the greenhouse effect. Increasing greenhouse effect means increasing the Earth's temperature. Yeah, because that is to maintain temperatures, but increasing effect means increasing the temperature. That's why. So the human activities are changing Earth's natural greenhouse effect. Yes, because burning fossil fuels means more CO2. Burning fossil fuel in the power plants, in automobiles, you can see, yeah. So, and lot of other applications, even in the industries, to meet the energy requirements, they burn fossil fuels. So once fossil fuel burns means it's the oxidization. It's a reaction with oxygen and then the CO2 emits. Don't worry, Bhutala, this is no much of chemistry or anything. Burning fossil fuel creates additional CO2. That's the main issue. So in the atmosphere, CO2 level is rising. That's why generally we call carbon emission, CO2 emissions. That's the main greenhouse gas we are referring. So because of this burning fossil fuels, so even NASA has observed the increase in the amount of carbon dioxide and some other greenhouse gases. Because carbon dioxide is one of such. So when the earth warms, even the atmosphere retains more water. And water is another greenhouse gas, but not like CO2, but it's a greenhouse gas. Even methane from the agriculture field, there is possibility even the animal farms and all, the methane can be emitted. So all greenhouse gases contribute to increase the greenhouse effect. So the natural greenhouse effect getting increased and as a result the global temperature starts warming because of this trapping of more and more heat. Okay, so this causes earth to warm up. Yes, warming up. This earth warming up, we call it global warming. Okay, Bhutala? Global warming. So the one of the key for global warming is greenhouse effect. Okay, because of the CO2 methane like greenhouse gas emissions. So this is the issue, Putal. Okay, and of course there are excessive sometimes the heat pollution is also there. But when it comes to heat pollution, means example like from the exhaust, okay, releasing higher quantities of heat to atmosphere. Those are also secondary contributors for global warming, not primary. But the CO2 emissions like greenhouse gases causing greenhouse effect is the primary factor of making the earth warmer than what is needed. So that is we call global warming. So the greenhouse effect increase because of the human activities makes the earth warm up. We call it global warming. And global warming leads to climate change. Okay? So that's how the consequences are coming. So when it comes to climate changes, okay, so there can be even natural disasters more, and the and the melting of the glaciers and the rising of the sea level, we can see a lot of negative effects, even the abnormal the seasons and all we can experience. Okay, so that's the issue, Bhutana. So this basic knowledge is important to have, because when you know this, okay, when you know this, you will be responsible when it comes to your hands, and if you have little bit, even a bit of control, you know what to do. That's why this basic knowledge is important. So even we have some new knowledge here. Even the ocean absorbs, here the second statement. See, the ocean also absorb lot of excess carbon dioxide in the air, because ocean air connectivity. Okay, so the ocean absorb carbon dioxide. Then what happens is, so when the carbon dioxide level increase in the oceans, okay, the water quality changes, ocean water quality changes, and making the oceans more acidic. So this is we call ocean acidification. Okay, so that is one more point. Yeah. So because even in the oceans there are some microgreens are there, plants. So those also need CO2, but when the air has more CO2, ocean absorb more CO2 than it's necessary. So the CO2 balance of the O2 will be shifting by becoming oceans more acidic. Yes. Then it affects the biosystem. Okay, so this is one of the, so this is a very pure white. You can see the brain coral, they call it, this bleaching, they call the acid action. Because of the acid action, these corals are getting damaged. So the ecosystem, this biobalance in the nature will be disturbed. When it comes to nature, of course, ocean is part of the nature. So you can see the effects of greenhouse. This is one of the things affecting the oceans. Okay, so that is one more thing. So now I'm going to open up a questionnaire for you just to review it. Okay, just to review it, I'm going to open up a questionnaire for you. So please wait for a while. Let me open it up. Okay, we are going to review these questions. Okay. Very nice questions. The issue is, it is if we can have a dialogue form discussion, it is good. But when it comes to Zoom, so only myself is walking, only myself is talking and working, and you are listening. Okay, listening and thinking. So our mutual communication is little bit limited. That's the issue. But anyway, what I'm going to share with you is very important if we have a chance to discuss. But we have very limited chance to discuss. Okay. This question, about this questionnaire, this is created by the UN, and I have received it for evaluation myself, to get evaluated for some workshops or something. They sent it. I anyway replied, and I was selected somehow. And this is the questionnaire. So I feel that this is a very important questionnaire. I should share with you. Okay. So I believe you can say this. Okay. So if I need to zoom this a little bit more, maybe okay. Okay. Yeah. So for the first one, is solar energy infinite? Can you just text me yes or no? I just want to see few responses. Is solar energy finite or infinite? Yes. Yeah. Solar energy, we are receiving solar energy daily. Yes, Putala. Yes, I have seen some. Yes, I'm receiving 2 yes. Yeah, only 2. Any more, please? Yes. Any more? Yes, all yes. Okay, very good. Yes. Yeah, obviously. Okay, obviously. Obviously. Solar energy is infinite. We would say, yeah, it's a nice point to discuss. Okay. I would prefer to say no. Many of you said yes, and none said no, but I would say no. Okay, this is my opinion. I would say solar energy is not infinite. Yeah. One point is, for the earth, we are receiving solar energy daily, and we are releasing back daily. Okay, because the greenhouse effect, somehow we can see we are maintaining the temperature almost consistently. So whatever solar energy comes up, so we may be using part for the plants and of course for the natural activities, and we are utilizing it. That's true. And the balance goes out. So even for solar energy is the mother of all energies. Even the petroleum comes from the plants, fossilization. Plants grow because of the solar energy. So solar energy is the mother of all the energies, the source of all the energies. Mother means that. Even wind energy, the source is the solar energy. Tidal energy, the source is the solar energy. Okay, so you can say like this. Okay, even in all the energies here, geothermal, whatever, all can be justified as originated somehow from solar energy. That's true. But we have questions. If solar energy is infinite, why do we have this energy problem daily? Why do we have energy problem daily if solar energy is infinite? Why do you have energy problem? Yes.
In night, we can't get energies from.
Sorry.
In night, we can't get solar energy.
Yes, that's the one more point. At night, no solar energy puta. It's a very good point. So only daytime we are receiving, nighttime no solar energy, and we are releasing solar energy out to the space through the atmosphere. So daily we are receiving, true. But if it is infinite, we would say this may not be a livable place. So there is a control here. That's what I feel. Receiving solar energy, there are a lot of control aspects. Yeah. It is renewable. Today we are receiving, night no, but tomorrow we are again receiving, like renewing. Okay? New energy comes. Night no, next day yes, morning, daytime, yes, nighttime no. So you can see this cycling. Okay, it's something like receiving in the cycle, releasing in the cycle, using in the cycle. So there is a cyclic nature. And of course, still we are struggling to tap the solar energy to the fullest. Of course, petroleum is the key source, is mother of petroleum is solar energy somehow. But millions and billions of years fossilization changed those to the fossil fuels, and we are using it. But even the fossil fuel become limited. Yes, that's right. But the wind energy, there is an enormous potential, but there is a limitation as well. Even though enormous, even energy is costly. Energy is not cheap. Even energy, people fight for the energies. If we have any infinite energy sources, why should we fight? So we have no way to see that energy is infinite when it comes to solar even. So that is what I feel. Okay. So very nice. We should go through this. Yeah, very tricky, but anyway, this is some awakening questions. So if solar energy is infinite, why we are going to have so efficient solar panels? Yes, solar panel, co-efficient ones. If it is infinite, the issue is solar energy is not infinite. My gut feeling is that, and my justifications all leads for the finiteness of solar energy. I may be wrong, but this is my opinion. Yeah. If no, you should reason out it. Yeah. So our country use many energy. You means our country. Okay, use many, such as petroleum, coal, natural gases. Yes. Yes. See, carbon dioxide has the property of absorbing heat and warms the earth. That's right. This is third question. Yes, carbon dioxide has the property of absorbing heat and warms the earth. Means carbon dioxide is a key contributory factor for this absorbing heat and warms earth, the greenhouse effect. Definitely yes. Fourth question. Carbon dioxide is typical greenhouse gas. So we would say yes. Because absorbing heat and then part released back to the earth and only portion goes back. And that's why. Okay, so the absorbing heat warms the earth. Yes. So carbon dioxide is a typical greenhouse gas. Maintain proper room temperature helps to prevent global warming. Yes or no? Maintain proper room temperature. Let's say this is when you are using the controlling of the room temperature, maybe when you are using an air conditioner as a solution. Even at least in your offices, there may be air conditioners. So, what's the connectivity of maintaining proper room temperature and the global warming? Yes, to drive the air conditioner. You may be driving, you may be generating power using the fossil fuel driven power plants. So, higher temperatures, when you set at higher temperatures, your energy consumption is less. Less energy consumption is you are saving the fossil fuel burning. You are preventing a bit fossil fuel burning. So, maintain proper room temperature helps to prevent global warming. So proper in the sense not setting for so cold ones. Okay, so we would say yes, but we need some justifications like that. See, so serious questions. The easiest way to reduce the electricity bill of an air conditioner, see, is to prevent the heat loss of the building. Don't think this is technical, but this is common sense even for IM students, FPT, and manufacturing. So you no need to have this very extensive heavy knowledge, but this common sense you should have. So our country, okay, our country, so we are in the tropical region. So most of the time we set our room temperatures lower than the ambient. So we are making the rooms cool. So then to make the room cool, once it is cooled, if we can maintain with no heat comes inside, we can save some energy. No heat coming from inside means prevent the heat loss. Okay, prevent the heat loss. So then you no need to run the air conditioner that long, so it reduce the electricity bill. Very nice. Yeah, don't think this is too simple ones, but quite interesting. Okay, because UN crafted these questions. Yes, no, and don't know ones. Using a bicycle helps to prevent global warming. Obvious. When you know what global warming means, you appreciate this. The guy who is walking, or the guy who is cycling, yeah, they are more supportive of the environment because global warming is one of the very critical environmental challenges we are facing. That's why. So we have to appreciate, the time has come to appreciate this. So we must have cycling paths parallel to every roads and highways. There should be. Then people used to ride and cycle leisurely. That is very important. Okay. So solutions, that's why. The smart solutions. And when cycling, It's good for human for exercising, keep fit, and save energy. Then no fossil fuel burning, good for the planet. Okay, that's why. So, but most of the people nowadays, they feel that if walking is something like not a feel good one, if others see you are walking so long distances, so you may be a little bit uncomfortable. Maybe sometimes you cannot walk. You have no energy. We are, even myself. We used for being very lazy means less physical activities. That is not very good. Even our cricket team, they have the issues in fitnesses. This is the issue. So the attitude changes very important. Okay, those are different points anyway. Every time a car starts or accelerates, suddenly energy is wasted. Yes, energy is wasted. Energy. So you have to take these words very seriously. Eh? Energy is wasted, of course, because every time car starts or accelerates, extra fuel, and most fuel may be partly burned. Partly burned. So when partly burned, the issue is it was not generated the proper energy levels. So it is partly burned. So the fossil fuel wasted means if it is utilized, that is one thing, but is not fully utilized. Accelerate partial combustion, starting partial. You can see sometimes you can see the smokes coming out. Yeah. So energy is wasted. Very nice. Even you can expect this kind of questions, even part of this for you exams. Okay. Slowly you see. Eco-friendly products. Yes. Now the things are coming. Because in this subject of environmental management and cleaner production, as a knowledge, what you are receiving is mainly very solid concepts. Okay, but those are useful and workable and productive. That's all. Concepts. So here it says eco-friendly products are products that use less resources and energy than other products until they are disposed and discarded after being made and used. Those are the eco-friendly products. Okay. For production, use less energy and resources. In the usage, they use less energy and products, less energy and resources. Even for a washing, energy, of course, electricity resources can be detergents and all the chemicals, maybe even water. Yeah, that's why. So, minimum use of energy and resources is what we are saving this for the future, and also minimize this fossil fuel combustion. So eco-friendly, of course. Okay, I will send this to you email afterward. So these are the tips really. So using environmental friendly products saves resources and energy and helps to prevent global warming. Is it yes or no? Using environmentally friendly products. Okay. Saves resources and energy. Environmentally friendly means eco-friendly. Yes. Will that helps to prevent global warming? That's why everything we are thinking today towards a global warming minimization. Yes. Less fuel burning. Even Resources, you have to process the resources that needs energy. That energy may be by burning fuel, if it's related to thermal energy or even for mechanical energies. See how far they are thinking, the chain effects we have to think. How about this one? Water shortages occur due to global warming. What you can say? Water shortage occurs. You have to explore this, even see global warming, okay, makes the water scarce, water shortage. This is truly yes. Okay, this is truly yes. One thing obvious, when the sea level rises, the coastal line comes inwards of the land, comes inland. The coastal line shifts inland. Then your water quality, the natural, the drinkable water become more with salinity. So Sri Lanka being an island, if water level rising even by an mm, 1 milli, let's say 1 milli is not measurable maybe, but that really challenging for this water resource, global warming. But the issue is nowadays, even though we are talking this for subjects, even when it comes to the water resource management and all, finally to assure a precious water availability throughout, not for ourselves, even for future generations. Taking care of global warming is very important. And this one needs a global effort. Not just you and me, but of course you and me, like everyone contributes. That's true. Okay, these are global interests now. I hope you can understand it. More about global warming. Reducing garbage, okay, helps to prevent global warming. Reduce garbage. Then you can think this is related to waste reductions, not waste management. Okay, reduce garbage. So those who are very keen on the global warming, climate change, and environment, okay, they are more towards minimizing waste. Reduce garbage means if it is really, let's say, sometimes this can be food waste. Food waste, when this becomes degrading, methane produces. Methane is greenhouse gas. Meetotamulla, that garbage dump, that tragedy because of the methane trapped inside. Okay, you can. I hope you can understand. Even for that kind of garbage, okay, garbage. When you reduce it, it reduces methane emissions into atmosphere. What methanes? Man created causes. These are not the nature's ones. Okay. So reducing garbage, even reducing waste. Yes. Okay. The next question, electricity saving. So why I'm discussing this, because these are well crafted, let's say, questions. And these questions trigger very good thoughts within us. That thoughts about the causes of global warming and also prevention of global warming. and the importance of global warming. So that's why this has a lot of multifaceted effect or the advantage for receiving a knowledge about environmental management and cleaner production. Now you can say that if we have no knowledge about global warming, let's say if we don't have the global warming, the no knowledge about that, can we say our environmental management and cleaner production knowledge is complete and sound enough? No, not necessary. It is not at all. So this is one of the essential knowledge that we should receive. Okay. Even electricity saving helps to reduce the use of fuel needed to make electricity and to prevent again see global warming. Global warming is a very serious issue. That's why. Okay. Even countries, not to say countries, even islands like Maldives, maybe at the rate of global warming, if continues, yes, those islands will disappear. Now you imagine a tree absorbs CO2 means it takes CO2 out of the air, means the atmosphere, CO2 from the atmosphere, and then controls the CO2 level. So that's why, at least if man made activities have some negative impacts on CO2 emission, at least they should plant trees. Now you imagine, even in Sri Lanka, the way the people cut trees in the eastern province and all, and clear the jungles and the forests for so-called developments and all. See how bad they are. They have really no knowledge about this. They have really no knowledge about this. It is very sad to say that this stupid, mostly the politicians, they are doing this kind of things, and together with some business people, the dealers, they are going to make deals with the environment. Yes, that is not very good. That's why. So we can see it's a sad story, really. This cutting of the trees, even we should not supposed to pluck a leaf, even if no reason. Okay, yeah, if no reason. That's why. So we should have then discipline up to that levels. Yeah, mainly because if we think of the environment, see the next one, rising the forest well, raising the forest well is a good way to prevent. That's why the forest reserve increasing this is a good way to prevent global warming. Of course, yes. So the contrast, the opposite side, clearing the forest is very bad. Okay, and that increase the global warming seriously. See the contrast of that. That's why you can say it. But anyway, timber is a business for many countries, even Malaysia, Burma like countries. So timber exports, they make a lot of money. Even Malaysia, they cut forests very badly. Okay, even in Myanmar, or maybe they are cutting the trees as well. But if you cut a tree, so there should at least we must have some forest management system. Okay, to have that balance. And of course, the strategy should be to increase the or raising the forest well or forest reserves. Yeah, cutting a tree is okay, but there should be a well plan Cyclic process. Okay, that is very important, Kutala. Okay, that's why. So this is a very good question. Okay. As the polar glacier melts due to global warming, see the people are thinking. The sea level gets higher and coastal lowlands now around the earth are immersed in water. We are experiencing this. The issue is the global warming. Next, if global warming raises sea level, crops in the nearby fields can be damaged, of course. The water becomes higher with salinity levels. Yes. Then crops affect. Sometimes even with the high tides, the fields can be destroyed. The next one, if you purchase and eat agriculture products produced in your area, you can reduce carbon dioxide emissions. Of course, yes. Now imagine vegetables in Jaffna come to Colombo or Dambul and go back to Jaffna again. See, the, the supply chain, very bad, the setup. Yeah, so the lot of CO2 emissions you can see. And most vegetable become garbage, maybe almost 30, more than 30, 40%. Yes, leads to global warming. Nobody realizes this. So they only talk about this, how to say, the wastage and the cost and the price increase, but the, it has a huge impact on global warming as well because finally those becomes garbage. Yes, and even farming activities contributes for global warming. That's why. The last question, let's say. Most of the products we use emit carbon dioxide in the production process. Of course, yes. So it is good to buy only what you need. Responsible consumption. Okay. Responsible consumption. Yeah, that's why. Sustainable consumption. Also, you can see here sustainable consumption and production related things. So that's why. So today we are talking about global warming. Earlier we talked about the pollutions and all. And another aspects we talk about the sustainability. All are interconnected. Nothing is separable. Okay, so it is very important to understand this. Understand, not to say memorize. If you understand this, you may have a little bit some heartfelt, okay, motive to even not to work towards this, but when you make the decisions, you may think about this. Okay, I can remember 12 years back. 12 years back, I happened to evaluate two components. Those are heat exchangers. So one is, of course, both are from the very reputed manufacturers. One is, of course, from Japan, Panasonic. I can remember that. So these two products, performance are the same. Okay, performance are the same. So when it comes to manufacturing excellence, we have no issues. But we have noticed that one item is over engineered in the sense it is heavy. It is heavy. The other one is light. Okay, the prices are the same. So finally, the way we decide on the selection is we went for the light one, yeah, not the heavier solid one. Of course, well engineered, you may think it is better, probably is, but when it comes to the more logical thoughts, so we went into this. Okay, green engineering principles, sustainability principles, less using of materials, and yet to have this eco designs. Okay, so that's why. So even for you, there may be some experiences of such. Okay, there may be experiences of such. So environmental aspects nowadays can be decision makers. That is very important. Okay, environmental aspects. So in Sri Lanka, we can see there is a very big demand for the energy efficient vehicles, hybrid and all. Yeah, you may think that it is because it saves some money and maybe it's not a burden for the pocket. That's true. But what more than that is, it supports for the sustainability. Okay, it contributes for at least to control this global warming. Okay, to minimize the fossil fuel burns and that kind of things you can see. So some very good, very important factors. Okay, it is very important to that. Yeah. So the place I'm sitting here today is a corridor with little bit busy street. I have the problem with the mouse here. Give me a second, Puta. Give me a second. So that's about the global warming. And I believe this knowledge is pretty enough because global warming, the receiving knowledge and study is, of course, part of science and technology. Okay? It's part of science and technology. But when it comes to our case, we are not doing that in very detail. Unless you are in the field of environment, technologies, yes, you can go into details. But here, our case, we are really valuing the concepts. Okay? We are really valuing the concepts. That's right. Okay? So I would say our level 4 at this time would be enough. The knowledge we gain from this greenhouse effect and the global warming, because you know what to do in your activities. Okay, you know what to do in your activities. That is very important. And one more thing, whatever our processes or our solutions is more towards sustainability, those solutions are very successful ones. For sure. Those solutions are very successful ones. So, it is very nice. And that is about the greenhouse effect, greenhouse gases, and the global warming. So it's 10 o'clock. It's at 10 o'clock. So We have 17 here. Mr. Jayatung also here, so please take the attendance and all. So we will look into now the other one. Yeah, the other one. 12 principles of green engineering. Okay. I came to know this 12 principle engineering in, let's say 13 years back. I used this. Okay. Example, even this is a document I have done. Yeah, for previous ones. This is in 2009. Okay. So I'm not going to share the introduction, but we will look into the 12 principles of green. Okay, so I will save this file first. Green engineering principles, semester 6, 2018, 2018, semester 6, B2, 9, food, and IM. Yes. I take out this. This is not necessary for you. I check this out. Yes. So even I take out this because of course this is a dimension for engineer technical decision making, but this is more than that. Yeah. So it is more than a dimension. Which is used more than, okay, technical decision. So I just put this. Okay. So anybody heard about 12 principles of green engineering? Anyone heard? Could you say yes or no? Even you can chat it. If no, just type no. If yes, just type yes. Oh, I have to take this also out. This is 12 principles. It's okay. 12 principles. I'm receiving one. No. Okay. No. So how about yeah, receive one more. No. Mr. Jayatung, how about you? Yes or no? Yes. Danushka? Menaka? So, no, mostly no. Yeah. Yes, mostly no. Fine. Okay, fine. So, This is another useful and workable knowledge. Okay. And if you understand the usage of this, I would say application wise, okay, application wise, to comply with sustainability and and as an environmental friendly solution, knowing these 12 principles and understanding of this and using of this, you are done. You are done. Yeah. So that's why. So you can go for any. There are a lot of lessons you may be learning from workshops or whatever about this eco solutions and all for industries. But if you know this 12, if you understand this 12, you are done. Okay. This is very famous. Okay, very famous. This is very famous green engineering principles. Okay, some very famous. So let me share some web sources. So I just typed 12 principles of green engineering and information pages came here. 23 million. Okay, 23 million results in 0.57 seconds. Imagine. Worldwide, people are using. So let me share some topics. 12 principles of green engineering. This is the first one is in the American Chemical Society website. So they are the one used this originally. Yeah, published this for chemical industry. You know, chemical industries earlier time are really risky for human health and environment. So they have to follow the rules, guidelines, principles, and all. So that's why for the chemical industries, so this was published in American Chemical Society quite some years back. Okay, quite some years back. This is a very wonderful publication, one way, and this happened to be a worldwide practices now. See? Even 12 principles of green engineering, Center for Green Chemistry. See, 12 principles of green engineering, precautions. See, 12 principles of green engineering as a tool for asking the right questions, considering the right factors and building in the right parameters as design, manufacturing and all. Sustainable design through the 12 principles. The 12 principles of green design, green engineering, okay? Green engineering, yeah. So design through the 12 principles of green engineering. PDF you can download even. The 12 principles of green engineering. Yes. So 12 principles of green engineering. So you can see case studies. You can see design through the 12. Okay. Going green on a large scale. Applications. Green chemistry and green engineering. A framework. Okay. Sustainable development through the principles of green engineering. about green engineering, principles of green engineering, the 12 principles of green chemistry, what it is and why it is. The 12 principles, yes. So even there are 24 principles, anyway later people publish something different maybe. Designed through the 12 principles. So when it comes to this 12 principles, it is something like the well-defined principles that no one change it because this is like a brand now. 12 principle is something like a brand. So 12 principles. So there cannot be any more different principles. That's why these 12 principles are very highly consolidated, almost all the aspects in designs, manufacturing, and even for the consumer ends, even from the raw material processing, complete life cycles, all can be considered this. Okay, so this is how we appreciate this. So let me look into this 12 principles. This understanding is totally with you and it's with your experience. Okay, it's with experience and this is relevant for all the three groups. And this knowledge is very important for manufacturing, no doubt, even industrial management. When you participate in decision makings and contributing for group works, team works, this knowledge guide you. This is a very good foundation comprising everything. Okay, so today I would say this is done. Almost your module is done once you aware this. Okay, first principle, durability rather than immortality. Okay, so when we design the things, so targeted durability is there because the designs, the product, there are life cycles. Okay, so this the first cycle is over, second cycle may be more improved ones and all, better efficient ones. So if you are producing a durable one now, and in 10 years you are coming with 200% efficient product, what will happen to this durable one? Durable one is very expensive. Okay, but in 10 years time this is half performing. So that's why. So targeted durability is very important. That's why even Japanese now, not like last time, they are working with safety factor 1 or 1.2 maximum. Not to say in the building construction or anything, but when it comes to the consumables, appliances, automobiles, okay, so for the users, not like the structures or the bridges, those they have to have the durability for 100, 200 years. So those are different. 200 years durability and 5 years durability is different. Okay, that's why. So the targeted durability, it's a design goal. So this is a key consideration. Okay. So you can think about this even when you design a dress or even design a garment. So you may be designing it, making it for maybe one season of the year. So it can be used for many years, but your assurance maybe for one season means maybe for several months. Depends. Okay. Meet the need, minimize access. Okay. So design for unnecessary capacity or capability. That is one size fits all should be considered a design flaw. Yeah, you can see even some manufacturers, some component manufacturers, some some are really violating this principle. Some are focusing on this. Meet the need, minimize success. One size fits all means you have to go for the overall one. Yeah. But overall one means to cater everything. Okay. Yeah. Example, let's say designing of a compressor for refrigerator, for a cold climate, for a warm climate, for temperate, or the always summer like high temperature climate like Middle East. Let's say all the three applications, Middle East, Sri Lanka, and maybe for New Zealand, if you are using the same compressor uh, for a similar application. So New Zealand, so unnecessarily, because it may needs a smaller size one because ambient may be colder, heat losses may be less. So it may not be a good solution. Even very thick insulations, solution for New Zealand may not be because the delta T temperature difference if it comes to a refrigerator appliance. But for Middle East maybe 70 but for New Zealand maybe 30 millimeters thickness. We may not know. That's why. So you have to customize the requirements. That's what I would say. Even the dresses. Yes, summer country is true. If the summer dresses are expensive or cheap, I don't know. But someone there maybe may know about that. But if you look for a universality in the dress designs and the materials and the fabrics, for some it is unnecessary, but he or she has to pay for that. Yeah. Material diversity, not only the material diversity, the third one, the component diversity also should be minimized. Sometimes equipment diversity should be minimized. Multi-component products should be minimized to promote assembly and value retention. Okay, so minimize the material diversity. That is very important. See, so you have everything here as a checklist. 12 such. Inherent rather than circumstantial. So this is explained in this way. Okay. Designers need to strive to ensure that all material and energy inputs are and outputs are as inherently non-hazardous. Yeah. Because sometimes the material they may have hazardous situations anyways. Okay. So if not non-hazardous, yeah, in general, inherent. Otherwise, you have to have precautions. That's why. So, example, so some places, some materials may be fire hazardous. For the same, maybe for some materials, for the same, maybe for different applications, no fire hazards. But this says that inherently non-hazardous should be the material. Then you have the mobility of that product from one place to another. It is very important for reusing, refurbishing, and all. Okay, so very nice. So I just go through this quickly. Prevention instead of treatments. Yeah, this is about the waste. Okay, prevention very important rather than treatments. Treatments means we call this end of the pipe solutions. Later we will learn this. So it is well explained here. Yeah. So output pulled versus input pushed. Okay. So this is manufacture for the demand. Don't overproduce and look for the markets. Okay, so then it is something like you are not in the sustainable mode, you are not in the just in time manufacturing. Okay, integrate material and energy flows. Integrate. Okay, so design of products, processes, and systems must include integration and interconnectivity with available energy and material flows. Means same material can be used for several components, making same energy can be recovered and reused. Same energy source can have more versatility in using in some other processes and all. Anyway, this integrating material and energy flows is very important. Okay, so design for commercial afterlives. Yes, even for commercial afterlife, if the design lasts long, but that is not immortal, but afterlife means refurbishing, reusing is possible. So using renewable materials and renewable energies. Yes, because if non-renewable means depleting resources if you are using, so for future generations, it is very difficult to preserve that depleting resources. Always very important to go for renewable nature. Okay, so you have to look into this, Putala. Design for separation. Now when it comes to the, especially for electronic goods, and if you look into the UL certifications, design of separation is very important. Even for CE, they are looking for design for separations now. Because as we discussed earlier, for circular economies, yes, we have to look into this because finally those raw materials should be separately, okay? You have to get separated for reuse as raw materials. Yes. So conserve complexity. This one I have to explain this a bit. This is about the, anyway, for recycling, reuse, and also for other beneficial ways of disposing. Okay, so we have to have some design choices, making design choices. So to support this, okay, so for this one, so this is about the benefit of that. Whatever supporting this is something like an investment. Yes. So conserve complexity, I have to check this one. Conserve complexity, but here, so these two words are together being used, but somehow supporting the recycle and reusing and circular economy. Conserve complexity means even though a complexity is there, so there can be a way of, okay, reusing and recycling. So there can be that kind of possibility. Conserve complexities. Even in lot of electronic designs and automobiles, even in machines, within the complexity you may see this. Okay, I think it should be like that. Anyway, you have to look into this more and look into the websites, and this will be more explained further, and you should look into your choices. All you should you look into your choices. So this was published in 2003, okay, in the Journal of Environmental Science and Technology. Okay, so this is a very classy publication. Anyway, this journal is very classy. So I think world class, the top journal in environmental sciences. And this is on that journal, this is one of the top contribution, this one. Okay, so it is very nice. So I believe you have learned something out of this portal. This is very important. Yeah, just to say, even in this journal, I have one publication, but very rare. It is not generally possible to have publications in this journal because American Chemical Society, this environmental science and technologies, is one of the top journals, and even in Sri Lankan have publications in this journal is very rare, but I would say that I have one because that is for you to feel good about my knowledge on this subject, that I can contribute something good for you beyond the book knowledge. That's all. Okay. So if I browse that one, let's see. This is from my good feeling. I thought that I should share this with you as well. So here in the same journal, Environmental Science and Technology, I also have one publication. You can see my name here. Just one I have to. Of course, I have some more to publish, but later I will try to publish more. Maybe. Publishing means not for the namesake, but having good publication is always good. So that's all with us today. It's 10:24. So we have learned today very useful subject matter. Okay, very useful subject matter. So I'm going to wind up because any more new things takes more than 5 minutes because this is 10:25. I will talk about this PPP. This is a project. This PPP means pollution prevention pace. It's a very wonderful program done by this 3M company. 3M is world one of the most innovative companies. Yes. And under the leadership of this Mr. William L. McKnight, he rose from the lower level, that's why. So last time I mentioned that in this ecosystem, last time I mentioned that look into that. Give me a second. Yes, I want to show this here. I share from the operations level to rising up to the leadership levels. Okay, so Mr. William L. McKnight is such a person, raised or rise from this operations the lower level. Okay, he joined as a bookkeeper, finally become the CEO and the exceptional world class. He's a he's a very exceptional leader. He become Mr. William Bell McKnight. That's why the opportunities are plenty for you as well. Okay, it is not only the technology. That's why it's important for in the ecosystem. When you say this, you will see the opportunity you also have it in the same way. Okay, Gudala? Good. So that's why I just want to mention this. So next week we will continue this. So where is this? About this, I will continue. Okay, good. So any more questions before winding up, Utala? Any questions? So then thank you very much for joining the class. So let me stop the class now. I'm conducting this class in Colombo today. So no signal interruption somehow, you can see it. So very good, and thank you for joining, and later we will do some assignment like things to harness this very valuable knowledge. So that's all for the moment. I hope you understand all. And did you understand all?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, very good.
Excuse me,
Simple
sir.
knowledge. Simple is a better knowledge. Simple, very comprehensive, useful, workable. Yes. This awareness is what the subject is expecting. Okay, I think we are delivering it, you are receiving it, and I feel very good. So mainly the good concepts we are learning, not that much going deeper into the technologies, but this awareness is important. So when we have the awareness, we can explore. You can get the things done somehow. Yeah. So thank you, Butala. Thank you for joining. Take care, all of you. So see you in the next session. So I'm going to stop the class. So,
Thank you, sir.
okay, Butala, thank you very much. So take care, all of you. Then thank you very much for all of you. So I'm going to stop the class now. So bye then. Bye.